Hello guys, it's me, Spylo's husband here. Today I want to talk about Realth's pugs over on twitch.tv/Realth and his Discord server. He hosts them every Sunday and they're absolutely fantastic. And I want to talk about a little bit why. This video is not an entire breakdown of everything they have done in their custom workshop mode, but it will be a little bit of a touch on some of the things that I find really interesting and why I think you should come over and play in the pugs. Because there is absolutely no rules against who can play. You can just join, you can get in a game, play the pugs, try out all the reworks they've done. Realth and his friend xDidact have been designing and coding essentially entirely new heroes into the workshop mode. For example, Sombra is a support hero, Hog can give his breather to other people, Venture is a tank, May is a tank, and Orisa is a glass cannon rush tank that can set people on fire. It's fucking ridiculous. But not ridiculous in the sense that it's silly or goofy, like Marvel Rivals. It's silly and goofy in the sense that how the fuck is Realth and his friend xDidact, two just regular dudes, designing Overwatch heroes that are no bullshit, more fun, balanced, and better designed than Overwatch has managed to produce in quite a long time. People are going to say, that's just glaze, you're just glazing, it can't be that good. That might be true, but I think everyone should come and give it a little bit of a try. And not only is it a lot of fun, there's no rank requirement, obviously, it's literally just blind fun with some banter. You just go to twitch.tv/Realth. This video is going to be uploaded a little bit early, so just go as soon as this video uploads. Then scroll down, join his Discord, watch the stream, he'll tell you how to join the pugs. You then join your respective team channel, you don't have to speak if you don't want to, and you can try out all the new hero reworks. Now, I want to talk a little bit about some of my favorite reworks that were done, being Sombra and Venture. Sombra, as you can obviously see, has been turned into a support with a couple of few quirkies. And Venture got turned into a tank hero, because of course they did. Now, for Sombra. The way Sombra works is essentially she has a big aura around her, like a Lucio heal, except it works a little differently than Lucio heal does. Depending on the amount of people within the actual Sombra field, dictates the amount of healing given to each person in the field, essentially. So, if there's 0 people in it, Sombra is technically the only person in it, therefore she's healing for 24 healing per second. For every member that enters the AoE ring, she heals for 2 healing per second less on each target. So, if a Tracer walked into it, she would then heal for 22 healing per second, and the Tracer would heal for 22 healing per second, the same as the Sombra, right? Then, let's say a Roadhog goes in, Roadhog is healing for 20 healing per second, Tracer's healing for 20 healing per second, Sombra's healing for 20 healing per second. I believe that's how it works. I might have just spread misinformation and propaganda. I apologize. Anyway, so that's the general gist of how Sombra's AoE healing works. Now, obviously, they've lowered her damage to compensate for the fact that she's now a support and that she shouldn't be doing super DPS-y things, but you can do super DPS-y things because of the way the aura field works, that her healing works. So when you go and you flank and so on, you're obviously going to be healing yourself, but you're providing less damage. Think of it as a trade-off like Lucio. For example, if you're on Lucio, if you want to dive the backline, it means you're not healing or speeding anyone in your team. Or if you're speeding your team, you're not healing your team. And Sombra's a little similar. If you want to be flanking, well, then you're not healing your team. If you want to be supporting someone on an angle, well, that means that you're not in their backline doing shit, or you're not in your team healing someone. And if you're in the middle of your team healing everyone, it means you're not in their backline fighting people. It means you're not supporting an off angle. It means you're healing less. There's a really nice trade-off with the way the heal works, because it means that everything you want to do has a drawback. You can't just sit in the middle of your team and be permanently healing everyone all day, because then your value is capped at a lower amount of healing per person, which isn't as valuable. So you want to maximize which target needs the most healing by manipulating your positioning based on the situation happening to try and maximize your healing output on the targets that need it the most, which is infinitely more fun and interesting than the classic Sombra assassin playstyle that I've grown to absolutely despise. My main issue with DPS Sombra is the fact that her hack and so on, the rest of her kit does not suit what she actually does, okay? In Sombra's current iteration right now, I should actually talk about Sombra's virus first in the mode. Sorry, I'll get back to this. Sombra's virus in Realth rework works differently, by the way. Obviously, when you hit someone with it, it no longer does damage over time to them, and whatever else it does, I don't really care. It's now a team-wide support ability. So it's not a team-wide ability, but it's a team-based ability. You virus a teammate, and the virus teammate gains movement speed and healing over time. I believe that's all it does. But it's infinitely more interesting, because it's an enabling tool now. It's not a reactive tool anymore, which is good. It can be a reactive tool, but it's also an enabling tool. Do you see what I mean? How they've gone for the trade-off? If you want to use it reactively, then you don't get the benefit of using it proactively. And if you want to use it proactively, then you might not have it when you need it reactively. Right? It's a bit more fun. It's a bit like Lucio, and I think them following that kind of design philosophy is infinitely better than what the actual dev team have been doing for so long. Anyway, back to why I don't like DPS Sombra. I think it's best to do this with an example. For example, if a Tracer wants to get into a backline and assassinate an Ana or something, a Tracer has to evaluate, okay, where's my team? Where's the enemy team? Okay, how long is it going to take me to get into the backline? Okay, well, how close are my team to fighting? What stage of the fight are we in? Okay, well then these cooldowns are going to be used by the time I'm there. How am I going to get there? Okay, well I have to path this way, it's going to take that long. Where would the Ana be after that? Okay, I know that. And then you have to path over there, take as least damage as possible, don't get caught so you can do it, set up for your play, and then you want to engage when you think is right, fight the Ana, whatever it may be, and then use resources based on how well or badly the fight is going. If the fight's going really well, you can use more of your resources to try and be a bit more offensive to secure the kill, but then you have less resources for the escape. If it's going bad, then you use less resources offensively and use them more defensively so you have more to escape. More interesting, right? A little bit of a nice little resource trade there, a nice dynamic. But for Assassin Sombra, it's not like that, because what you do is, it's the same gameplay loop basically every single time. You will be throwing Translocator up into the air to proc your invis, running into the backline completely impeded, or unimpeded, because no one can see you, which means you get to rotate freely through any space you desire, which means you don't need to actually contest any angles or so on to get where you want to go. You just go there. Then once you're there, you uninvis, you hack a target, you virus the target for damage, you try to assassinate them before their cooldowns come back to save themselves, and then no matter what happens, after your Translocator comes back online, you throw it back over somewhere to go invisible again, and you cycle the cooldowns over and over again. It is extremely boring. It's not interesting for the Sombra or the person getting Sombra'd. It's very lame. I've always kind of hated Assassin Sombra. And this brings a lot of emphasis back to her hack. Her hack is now of a team resource, where you want to be hacking the right target, because you're not really capable of doing shit on your own anymore as a Sombra. You can, a little bit, but not as effectively as a DPS would, which means your hack is used more. See my hack there? My hack was more effective. They buffed the hack, so I think it's 2-second lockout, and 6 seconds we can't use ult or something. But because I'm not capable of doing things on my own as well as a DPS could, it means that my hacks are going to be based more on what my team needs, what my team wants from those hacks, right? Which again makes it way more interesting. And that's the Sombra rework. There's probably more to it that I missed out. I apologize. But remember, go to twitch.tv/Realth, join his Discord, and play in the pugs today when this video uploads, and you can try them out yourself. Next is Venture, because Venture is a tank hero. I'll try and be quick. Venture as a tank hero is infinitely more interesting because of the way their cooldown cycle works. Basically, Realth has this really nice video where they goes over how Realth has a good video that goes over how Venture technically plays like a tank hero because of the way they cycle their cooldowns and so on, right? It's pretty interesting. It's pretty true. And he's designed Venture based off that design philosophy, where essentially you're going to be a bit more of a squishier tank. I believe you're 300 or 350 HP with a little bit of armor. And what happens, or 250 HP or 300 HP with a little bit of armor on top of that. And the way our cooldowns work is they've lowered the damage, I believe. That might not be true. I might just be terrible. Maybe that's why I can't kill anything on it. But the way it works is when you burrow, it resets your drill dash cooldown. So you've got a fun little tech where you can go drill dash, burrow, drill dash. And another very fun thing about Venture is using quick melee on a target means that you also reset your burrow cooldown faster. You drop, I think it's like 2 or 3 seconds per quick melee. So you can do this thing where you drill dash, burrow, drill dash, pop out of the ground, left click melee someone, burrow, pop out of the ground, drill dash, and just do all sorts of fun, goofy, moving around, darting all over the map. And it's balanced by the fact that her damage output is lowered. You're forcing that she's going to have to be using quick melee more often because she wants to get her burrow cooldown, which means she's even more limiting in her damage output. And if she wants the higher damage output, she has to risk not getting burrow back fast enough to get out by quick meleeing less, which is, again, way more interesting. It's that trade-off thing that I was talking about, how Realth really likes that, and how I really like that, and how we're both based and in love. Anyway, that's how Venture works, and it's very interesting. I think Venture is the best rework they've done, genuinely, because it incentivizes being in their team all the time, but in their team smartly. You can't just be in their team all day, you'll get exploded. You have to be in their team precisely when is the best moment, and you have to use your cooldowns in the best way possible and bully the right targets, and it's a great pressure cycle as a tank, and I have a lot of fun playing it. So remember, come over to twitch.tv/Realth as soon as the video uploads and play in the Realth pugs. I'll see you there. So will Realth. I love you all. Have a good day. Tell someone they're handsome, and eat some delicious pasta. Have a good day. Goodbye, guys. Goodbye.